What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the Emotiva XS8 subwoofer, part of their new XS range. Now, the last Emotiva sub I reviewed was the RS11, and that thing impressed me. Fun fact, it's got a new price, and it's $852 now for the matte, $952 for the gloss. It used to be $1,200, so that's a pretty substantial price change Emotiva made. I highly recommend you check that subwoofer out. So the topic of today's video is the smaller, more affordable, and much more compact XS8. It's $579, 8-inch front firing driver, rear firing port, 250 watts class AB amplified, and does have an XLR input, surprisingly. Throw all the specs on screen so you guys can check that out. I already told you about the standout features. Next, I'll tell you what the damn thing sounds like. We'll do some comparisons and then we'll wrap up the video. So first, what I did with this subwoofer is I took it upstairs in my living room where I watch movies, I watch Netflix, TV shows, and I play video games. I got a gaming PC up there, and I just sit on the couch and play with the PS5 controller and have a good old time. The XS8 performed admirably. My living room isn't a huge one, but it's not small either. It's an open concept, so we've got a lot of volume to fill up. Generally, small compact subwoofers can't play very loud. They can't pressurize large rooms, especially when they don't have a ton of power. However, the XS8 being a vented subwoofer is going to be a very efficient design, meaning that 250 watts is going to go a lot further than it would in, say, a sealed subwoofer, for example. So this bad boy was able to, shake and rumble and do all the things you expect a subwoofer to do when you're watching a movie or playing a video game. Gunshots and first-person shooters were like tactile, fast, impactful. Space scenes in movies where there'd be like a rocket ship blasting off and stuff like that had rumble to it. It performed admirably. It did just fine. If you're looking at getting this subwoofer because you've got a compact home theater and you want to know if it's going to get the job done, the answer is a simple yes. It'll absolutely get the job done. And if you're looking for a compact solution this small, I don't think there's much better you could do. There's only one subwoofer that's this size that I would consider better, and it is double the price. It's the JL Audio D110. That's the only other subwoofer that's this small that I would recommend for compact home theater. And look, hey, by all means, if you can afford double, get that. It's really good. But the XS8 at $579, very, very good for compact theater. Now, do keep in mind one thing. Those of you looking for, crazy extension into the teens, this is an 8-inch, guys. 8s generally are not going to extend that low. Most 8s, and this thing's no different. They fall off a cliff after 30 hertz. So you're going to get good extension down to 30, and then it's just going to stop. That's pretty normal for this size subwoofer, especially an 8-inch subwoofer. Next, I brought it down here where I listened critically to music and stereo and stuff like that. The subwoofer did well, but I couldn't help but feel that theater is where it was strongest. And part of that was, while I was listening, I kept recalling my memories of the SE8 subwoofer. That's another Emotiva sub that's actually a little bit more affordable. Now, this XS8 can play a lot louder. It has a much fuller bottom end than the SE8 and so on. But that SE8, I gotta say, I think if you're putting together a 2-channel stereo only, and you need a small compact 8-inch sub, I'd say instead of getting this bad boy that's got tremendous output for its size, which you don't generally need in a music-only system, save yourself a couple of $100, get the Emotiva SE8 instead. I felt like the SE8 had a little bit quicker transients, was a little bit more dynamic, and just it was killer overall at its price. I mean, I think that thing's $349. This one's $579. So, there are cases though where you would get this instead. Let's say you're like, yeah, I'm doing stereo only, but my room is like quite a bit bigger and I don't want a sub that's much larger. I like this form factor. By all means, consider this if you need that extra output. But if you don't, I love the Emotiva SE8. It's one of the, as far as like a sub under $400, it's pretty much the most recommended one for me at least. So that's that. As far as like how did it sound with music overall though, look, it was fine. It really was. But again, I felt like the SE8 did a better job. So most of my listening was like, movies, video games, stuff like that. That's where I really felt it shined. Some of you guys, you asked me questions when I first posted this on my YouTube channel. You wanted to know how it compared to stuff like the RSL Speedwoofer. Let's make one thing clear. The RSL Speedwoofer is a larger subwoofer. Anytime a subwoofer is larger, generally it's going to play louder and extend lower, and that's the difference there, right? So again, when you're looking at a small compact subwoofer like this bad boy, or any small compact subwoofer really, you know, the KEF KC62 or KEF KF92, you know, a REL T5X, for example, when you're looking at subwoofers that small, it should be because you need a subwoofer that small. You have a space constraint, or your wife is like, hey, you can only put it here, and this is, you know, you can't have anything too large. You have certain requirements you're trying to meet. Guys, there's no reason to buy a small compact subwoofer if you can accommodate something larger, right? And if you can accommodate something larger and you want to stay within the Emotiva brand, like I told you guys at the beginning of this video, their RS11 had a price adjustment recently, and that thing is absolutely incredible. Some of you guys also asked me how it compares to SVS subwoofers. One of you guys asked how it compared to the PB1000. That, I'll be honest, like I'll do the comparison real quick, but it kind of doesn't make sense because the PB1000 Pro is a vented 12. This is a vented 8. And the PB1000 Pro is a lot more expensive. It's like 800 bucks, where this is 579. So look, the PB1000 Pro being so much larger and more expensive, it's going to play louder and extend lower. It's kind of like a no-brainer. Maybe you meant SB1000 Pro, and if that's the case, I'll do that comparison real quick. The SB1000 Pro is similar in size. It's a little bit wider because it's a sealed 12. Both subwoofers are really good. The SVS is unique in a few ways, that it has that cell phone nap, so you can, you know, make your adjustments from the couch. The Emotiva is going to be unique in that it's going to have that XLR input. The two subs are going to play a little differently. The SVS is going to be a little bit more linear because it's a sealed sub, whereas the Emotiva is going to have a little bit of a spike around its port tuning frequency, so that 40 hertz region is going to be real prominent, real strong, real thick. That's what vented subwoofers are all about. Generally speaking, around the port tuning frequency, we've got some thickness, we've got some power, we've got a lot of confidence in that area. That's kind of the whole point of a ported subwoofer. They play twice as loud around the port tuning frequency, offering tremendous output. So some of you guys did ask other comparisons, but I'll be honest, I didn't feel like they really made sense, and I don't want to make this video just like non-stop comparisons. If there's comparisons you want to hear about, you can ask me in my Discord. My Discord's free. If you want to know if this subwoofer will work for your room size, I would suggest you contact Emotiva. They're going to be a lot better at giving you advice for which one of the XS subwoofers are best for your room size, because this comes in an 8, a 10, a 12, and a 15. They also have their RS11. They also have the SE8 subwoofer. They've got a lot of subwoofers right now, so contact them if you're not sure which one's right for you. I've given you my piece. If you need a compact solution that can play loud, that's where the XS8 is going to come in. If you need a compact solution and you don't need it to play necessarily loud, the SE8 is fantastic. And if you can handle something that's a little bit bigger and it's going to give you just a lot more of everything, the RS11 is just going to be phenomenal. So that's that, guys. I think I've said just about everything I wanted to say about the subwoofer. If you've got any questions, again, you can ask in the YouTube comments. You can ask in my Discord. Now, if you do hop in my Discord, please don't be an asshole. We got a good thing going. It's kind of like a miniature forum. Everyone's courteous, respectful. We have a good time. We shoot the shit. It's kind of like a place we just hang out. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, later.